نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. Today we shall be starting with Surah Al-Luqman. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألف لام ميم تلك آيات الكتاب الحكيم هدى ورحمة للمحسنين الذين يقيمون الصلاة ويؤتون الزكاة وهم بالآخرة هم يوقنون أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون. صدق الله العظيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. The beginning of Surah Luqman is very similar to the beginning of Surah Al-Baqarah. Many of you might have recalled. There we have Alif Lam Mim Zalikal Kitabu La Rayba Fihi Hudan Lil Muttaqin. Here we have Alif Lam Mim Tilka Ayatul Kitabil Hakim. These are the ayat or the revelations of a book which is wise, full of wisdom. Hudam wa rahmatan lil muhsinin. It is a guidance, and not only a guidance but a mercy, but for those who attain to the level of excellence about their religion. In Surah Al-Baqarah it is Muttaqeen. That's the starting point. Hudan lil Muttaqeen. It is a guidance for Muttaqeen. But now it is Muhsineen, those who have attained excellence in this deed. For them it is Rahmah. Hudan wa rahmatan lil Muhsineen الذين يقيمون الصلاة ويؤتون الزكاة وبالآخرة هم يوقنون. Who establish the prayers and they pay the zakah and they are absolutely convinced of hereafter. Here actually the word yaqeen is used. Yuqinun. They are fully convinced that another life we shall have, and we shall be resurrected from the dead, and then the life of the akhirah, that is the real life. As we read in Surah Al-Ankabut, وَإِنَّ دَارَ الْآخِرَةَ لَهِيَ الْحَيَوَانُ لَوْ كَانُوا يَعْلَمُونَ. Actually, the house of akhirah is the real life, only if they had known. أُولَٰئِكَ عَلَىٰ هُدًى مِّن رَبِّهِمْ وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. These words are exactly the same as we find in Surah Al-Baqarah. They are the people who are on guidance from their Lord, and they are those who will attain salvation and prosperity and success. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَشْتَرِي لَهْوَ الْحَدِيثِ. And from people there are some who go and buy frivolous discourses. I will explain it, what it means. لِيُضِلَّ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ. So that he leads astray people from the way of Allah, from the path of Allah without knowledge. وَيَتَّخِذَهَا هُزُوًا. And they take this, that is Quran, the ayat which are being revealed to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in a mockery. أُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمْ عَذَابٌ مُهِينٌ. Those are the people for whom there is going to be humiliating chastisement. Now this has been the practice of the evildoers in all times. Keep the common people busy in such things that they don't listen to something which is serious. They don't have a time to ponder over serious things. Keep them busy. Either, in playing, singing. So there was a person, Nadr ibn Haris, who was amongst the very staunch enemies of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When he saw that the people of Quraysh at Makkah, they are attracted by Quran. They go to listen Quran from Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. To distract them from that, he brought a singing girl from Persia. and the stories of ancient Persian history. And he said, read these things. Don't pay attention to what Muhammad is saying. These stories are much better than what Muhammad is relating. And go and listen to this singing girl. You will enjoy. Why do you go and listen to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? And in this our present age and civilization, these games, they have been designed by Satan to keep people busy. Either you work hard for earning, or you are just enjoying life and busy in the external world. You never have an opportunity to peep down your own hearts, to search your own souls, to think about who we are, where we are heading, what is going to be the end, what is happening, why it is happening. Are we having humiliation in this world? If it is so, why? What are the reasons? Never think about it. Be, eat and drink and be merry, or if you have some spare time, well, keep attached to the television or watching the baseball game and so forth and so forth. So these are the tactics of those people who want that the message of Allah should not spread among the masses. وَإِذَا تُتْلَى عَلَيْهِ آيَاتُنَا, and when our ayat are recited to him, وَلَّا مُسْتَكْبِرًا, he turns away in arrogance. كَأَلَّمْ يَسْمَعْهَا, as if he had not even listened to them. كَأَنَّ فِي أُذُنَيْهِ وَقْرًا, as if there is some heaviness in his head, in his ears. فَبَشِّرْهُ بِعَذَابٍ أَلِيمٍ. So, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, give him the glad tidings of a painful chastisement. Now this is a taunting attitude. Glad tidings, not warning. But you know, for them the glad tidings are those of painful chastisement. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ لَهُمْ جَنَّاتُ النَّعِيمِ. As for those who come to believe and do good deeds, for them there will be the gardens of bliss. خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا, they will abide there forever. وَعْدًا عَلَيْهِ حَقًّا, this is a promise true on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ, he is almighty and all wise. خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ بِغَيْرِ عَمَدٍ تَرَوْنَهَا, he has created the heavens without any pillars that might be visible to you. وَأَلْقَى فِي الْأَرْضِ رَوَاسِيَ, and he has fixed mountains on the earth. أَن تَمِيدَ بِكُمْ, so that it should not shake with you. وَبَثَّ فِيهَا مِن كُلِّ دَابَّةٍ, and he has scattered and spread in this earth all types of animals. وَأَنزَلْنَا مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً, and we sent down water from heaven. فَأَنبَتْنَا فِيهَا مِن كُلِّ زَوْجٍ كَرِيمٍ, and then we caused to grow therein of every noble kind of growth. هَذَا خَلْقُ اللَّهِ, this is all creation of Allah. فَأَرُونِي مَاذَا خَلَقَ الَّذِينَ مِن دُونِهِ, now let me see what those other gods have created, whom you think that they are also associated with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. بَلِ الظَّالِمُونَ فِي ضَلَالٍ بَعِيدٍ, nay, these evildoers are in a very clear error. وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا لُقْمَانَ الْحِكْمَةَ, this second section, it mentions Hazrat Luqman. Who was he? Two things are clear. He was neither a prophet of Allah, nor he was from the ummah of any prophet or messenger. He was a simple person. As you know, the traditions go, he belonged to Nubia. Nubia is a place, desert, between border of Sudan and Egypt, somewhere in between the two. He belonged to this Nubia place, and he was dark colored, Abyssinian type of people. And he lived in Makkah, and he was a carpenter by profession. But he was a wise man. Now what is wisdom actually? It is composed of two things, because this section is included in our selected course of study of Quran. It's lesson number 3. So this is very important, because the basis of Quranic philosophy, those articles are contained in this section of this surah. What is hikmah? وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا لُقْمَانَ الْحِكْمَةَ أَنِ اشْكُرْ لِلَّهِ, and we had granted wisdom to Luqman, that be thankful to Allah. وَمَنْ يَشْكُرْ فَإِنَّمَا يَشْكُرُ لِنَفْسِهِ, and whosoever is grateful and thankful to Allah, he does it for his own gains. وَمَنْ كَفَرَ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ غَنِيٌّ حَمِيدٌ. And whosoever is ungrateful, Allah is self-sufficient. He doesn't need any thankfulness or some reward from any person. And He is praiseworthy. Now, two things we have to keep. One is the nature in us. And what is that nature? Actually, it's the ruh that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has grown unto us. This nature, this ruh, it has the dormant consciousness of Allah and love of Allah. It is there, ingrained in this nature of human beings, because every human being has a ruh in him. But then there is another thing, and that's the faculty of reasoning, which we call aql, the intellect. Now, if the two conditions are fulfilled, a person's nature is safe, sound, healthy, not perverted, and his intellect is also working in the correct direction, then he will think over, who am I, what is this universe? Has it been created by itself or someone has created? If someone has created, who is he? What are his attributes? How can I love him? How can I worship him? And what is going to be the end of my life? I eat, drink, live, and then die, that's all? Or there is going to be some result of what I am doing here? If I do something good, shall I get any reward anywhere? If I do something wrong, am I going to be punished somewhere else? Now, these are the basic questions of philosophy, of metaphysics. So if a person, he might not be very much learned, and he might not have a couple of PhDs with him, but if his nature is safe and sound, and his intellect works in the right direction, he will reach certain results. And what are those results? They are given here. When Luqman was dying, he transferred the result of the fruit of all his thoughtfulness over the whole of his life to his son. The sermon to his son, that has been mentioned here by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this person, Luqman, was very well known in Arabia. Just as we quote in our speeches, Allama Iqbal, he said so. In the same way, the khutaba, the orators, and the shuara, the poets of Arabia, used to quote him as a very wise person. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is here giving the person to whom you accept that he was a wise man, well, actually his position was this, that we are telling you. And this is the same, fundamentally, to which Muhammad is calling you, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا لُقْمَانَ الْحِكْمَةَ أَنِ اشْكُرْ لِلَّهِ. The result of hikmah is that we should be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The nature, if it is correct, it is safe, it is sound, it is healthy, it demands that if somebody does any good to you, you must be thankful to him. If you are thankless, your nature is perverted. But who is the real benefactor? How do we know? This material world, the sun, the moon? No. Someone else. Someone who has created the sun and moon. So we should be thankful to him. Just as Ibrahim said, Inni wajjahtu wajhiya lillazi fatara as-samawati wal arda hanifa wa ma ana minal mushrikeen. I reject the stars, the moon, the sun, and I have turned my face towards in the direction of that who has created these heavens and earth. وَإِذْ قَالَ لُقْمَانُ لِابْنِهِ, here recall when Luqman said to his son, وَهُوَ يَعِظُهُ, and he was exhorting him, يَا بُنَيَّ لَا تُشْرِكْ بِاللَّهِ. Now the first result of this wisdom and thankfulness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should be not to make anyone or anything an associator with him. La tushrik billah. He is alone, he is one. He has no partner, no equal, no associate. Inna shirka la zulmun azim. Verily, associating something or someone with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a very big injustice. وَوَصَّيْنَا الْإِنسَانَ بِوَالِدَيْهِ. Now, in between the advices and sermons of Luqman, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is adding, because he has said to his son, you should be thankful to Allah and you should not associate anyone with him. Now Allah is saying, وَوَصَّيْنَا الْإِنسَانَ بِوَالِدَيْهِ, and we have enjoined upon human being that he should be kind to his parents. This is also, parents have a right. Your creator is Allah, but who bore you in this world is your mother, and who cared for you, for your needs when you were a child, are your parents. So you have to be thankful to me, number one. I am the creator. I have put this love and affection in the hearts of the parents for you. But then you should be thankful to your parents also. And we enjoined upon man concerning his parents. His mother bears him despite weakness upon weakness. حَمَلَتْهُ أُمُّهُ وَهْنًا عَلَى وَهْنٍ وَفِصَالُهُ فِي عَامَيْنِ, and his weaning is in 2 years. Now what we have said, give thanks to me, anishkur li wale walidek. Be thankful to me, grateful to me. I am the creator, and I have put this affection and love in the hearts of the parents. But now actually that affection has come to you through your parents, so you should be thankful to your parents also. Ilayya al-masir, in the end, all of you will be returning to us. وَإِنْ جَاهَدَاكَ عَلَىٰ أَن تُشْرِكَ بِي مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٍ. The same thing which we have read already in Surah An-Kabut. But if the parents pressurize you, they strive against you and pressurize you that you associate with me anything or anyone about who have you no knowledge, فَلَا تُطِعْهُمَا, then you don't obey both of them, disobey them. وَصَاحِبُ مَا فِي الدُّنْيَا مَعْرُوفًا, but even then, you should keep an honorable company with them and gentle company with them in this world. وَاتَّبِعْ سَبِيلَ مَنْ إِنَابَ إِلَيَّ, and you should take to the path and follow the path of that person who has turned towards me. You don't follow your parents. Be kind to them, respectful to them. This is their right. But follow if they are on the right path. Okay? This is Nurun ala Nur. If your parents are on the right path, this is Nurun ala Nur, light upon light. But if they are on the wrong path, they are not to be followed. You have to follow the one who has turned his face towards me. Summa ilayya marji'ukum, then all of them will have to, all of you will have to return to me. فَأُنَبِّئُكُم بِمَا كُنتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ, and then I will tell you what you had been doing. Ya bunayya innaha in takum misqala habbatin. Now again, the sermon of Hazrat Luqman starts. Oh my son, little son, innaha, if it is, what does it mean? If a good deed or a bad deed, if it is in takum misqala habbatin min khardalin, if it is of a weight of a grain of mustard seed, very small. Human deeds, they might be very small, good or bad. However small they might be, fatakun fi sakhratin, or though they may be in some rock, of fi samawat, or in the heavens, of fil ard, or in the earth, Allah will bring it. Ya'ti bihallah. All deeds will be brought on the day of judgment, and you will have it. We have it in the last para. Misqala zarratin khairan yara. فَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِسْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَهُ وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِسْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ شَرًّا يَرَهُ. If you have done even, equal to the weight of zarra, an atom, you will see it. Inna Allah latifun khabir. Verily Allah is very subtle and aware of everything. Ya bunayya, oh my son, aqimis salah, establish the prayer. When you have come to know Allah, He is the creator, He is the sustainer, now you establish a psychological relationship with Him through salah. Go on addressing Him, praying Him, 5 prayers a day. Why? So that you remember. Aqimi salat al-zikri, we have read it in Surah Taha. Aqimi salat al-zikri, for my remembrance. Waqimi salat wa'amur bil ma'ruf, and enjoin upon others whatever is good. Wanha anil munkar, and forbid them from whatever is evil. Wasbir ala ma asabak, and then you have to bear with patience and perseverance whatever comes on you. Because when you will enjoin people to do good, maybe some people are angry with you. When you stop people from doing something bad, maybe they beat you, they come on you, they attack you. So all these things can happen because truth is bitter. Nobody is going to like this. So then you have to bear with forbearance and patience whatever comes to you. Inna dhalika min azmil umur. Verily, these are the matters requiring strong character. Only a person who has a strong character can do these things. وَلَا تُصَعِّرْ خَدَّكَ لِلنَّاسِ. And don't turn your cheek away from the people haughtily. وَلَا تَمْشِ فِي الْأَرْضِ مَرَحًا. Don't walk on the earth in a boastful manner, haughtily. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ كُلَّ مُخْتَالٍ فَخُورٍ. Verily, Allah doesn't love anyone who is arrogant and boastful. وَاقْصِدْ فِي مَشْيِكَ. And be modest in your gait and walking. وَاغْضُضْ مِنْ صَوْتِكَ. And lower your voice. إِنَّ أَنْكَرَ الْأَصْوَاتِ لَصَوْتُ الْحَمِيرِ. Definitely, the most unpleasant voice is the braying of the donkeys. أَلَمْ تَرَوْا أَنَّ اللَّهَ سَخَّرَ لَكُم مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ. Don't you see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has subjected to you and to your service whatever is in the heavens and whatever is in the earth. وَأَسْبَغَ عَلَيْكُمْ نِعَمَهُ ظَاهِرَةً وَبَاطِنَةً. And He has perfected upon you His blessings, whether they are visible or invisible. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يُجَادِلُ فِي اللَّهِ بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ. And there are people who argue about Allah and fight about Allah and argue against Allah, although they have no knowledge, وَلَا هُدًى, no guidance, وَلَا كِتَابٍ مُنِيرٍ, nor any book which is bright and illuminating. وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمُ اتَّبِعُوا مَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ. And when you said to them, you should follow what Allah has sent down. قَالُوا بَلْ نَتَّبِعُ مَا وَجَدْنَا عَلَيْهِ آبَاءَنَا. They said, no, we shall follow on what we have found our forefathers. But what their practice, we shall continue. أَوَلَوْ كَانَ الشَّيْطَانُ يَدْعُوهُمْ إِلَىٰ عَذَابِ السَّعِيرِ. What? Will they keep on following their forefathers? Although it is possible, it might be, that the Satan had been calling them to the chastisement of the blazing fire. وَمَنْ يُسْلِمْ وَجْهَهُ لِلَّهِ وَهُوَ مُحْسِنٌ. And whosoever surrenders and submits his will to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he has attained excellence, فَقَدْ اسْتَمْسَكَ بِالْعُرْوَةِ الْوُثْقَىٰ. So now he has his hand on the firm handhold. وَإِلَى اللَّهِ عَاقِبَةُ الْأُمُورِ. And definitely the end of all the affairs is with Allah. He will decide. وَمَنْ كَفَرَ فَلَا يَحْزُنْكَ كُفْرُهُ. Whosoever disbelieves, so O Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, don't grieve over it. إِلَيْنَا مَرْجِعُهُمْ. They have to come to us. فَنُنَبِّئُهُمْ بِمَا عَمِلُوا. We shall tell them what they had been doing, and we shall recompense them. We shall reward them. We shall punish them. إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَلِيمٌ بِذَاتِ الصُّدُورِ. Verily Allah knows what is in the chests of the people. نُمَتِّعُهُمْ قَلِيلًا. We are providing them for this life. But what is this life? A few days, few years, that's all. نُمَتِّعُهُمْ قَلِيلًا ثُمَّ نَضْطَرُّهُمْ إِلَىٰ عَذَابِ الْغَلِيظِ. And then we shall harshly, and we shall drive them, push them towards the harsh chastisement. وَلَئِنْ سَأَلْتَهُمْ مَنْ خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ لَيَقُولُنَّ اللَّهُ. And if you ask them, who has created the heavens and the earth, they will surely say, Allah. قُلِ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ بَلْ أَكْثَرُهُمْ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. Say, then praise, all praise is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but most of them don't know. لِلَّهِ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. To Allah belongs whatever is there in the heavens and the earth. إِنَّ اللَّهَ هُوَ الْغَنِيُّ الْحَمِيدُ. Allah is free from all needs. He is absolutely self-sufficient, and He is the praiseworthy. وَلَوْ أَنَّ مَا فِي الْأَرْضِ مِنْ شَجَرَةٍ أَقْلَامٌ. Now this subject has already come first in Surah Kahf. وَلَوْ كَانَ الْبَحْرُ مِدَادًا لِكَلِمَاتِ رَبِّي لَنَفِدَ الْبَحْرُ قَبْلَ أَن تَنْفَدَ كَلِمَاتُ رَبِّي وَلَوْ جِئْنَا بِمِثْلِهِ مَدَدًا. This ayah in the end of Surah Al-Kahf. This subject is being repeated here. وَلَوْ أَنَّ مَا فِي الْأَرْضِ مِنْ شَجَرَةٍ أَقْلَامٌ. And if all the trees on this earth become pens, وَالْبَحْرُ يَمُدُّهُ مِنْ بَعْدِهِ سَبْعَةُ أَبْحُرٍ. And the ocean, and to it are added 7 more oceans, and they work as ink. مَا نَفِدَتْ كَلِمَاتُ اللَّهِ. The words of Allah will not be exhausted. And I had explained at that time, what does it mean? Every creation of Allah is the result of His word, kun. So all the creations, they are words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When He decides something to create something, it says kun, and it becomes. So these are the words of Allah. So by the words of Allah, it is meant here is the creations of Allah. You can't count them, you can't write them. Impossible. Ma khalqukum wa la ba'sukum illa ka nafsin wahida. Your creation of all of you and your resurrection of all of you is nothing but like the creation and resurrection of a single soul. It's so easy for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He can create you and recreate you. Then, and it is for Him as easy as creating one human soul. Inna Allah Samiyun Basir, verily Allah is all listening and all seeing. Alam tara anna Allah yulijul layla fin nahar. Don't you see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala merges the night into the day? Wa yulujul nahara fil layl. And sometimes He is merging the day into night. Wa sakhara shamsa wal qamar. And He has subjected the sun and the moon for your service. Kullun yajri ila ajali musamma. Every one of these is running its course for an appointed period of time. Wa anna Allah bima ta'amaluna khabir. And that whatever you are doing, Allah very well knows it. Zalika bi anna Allah huwa al-haq. And this is because Allah is the truth, the whole truth. He is the truth. Huwa al-haq wa anna ma yaduna min dunihi al-batil. And whomsoever they are calling besides Him, they are just falsehood and nothing else. Wa anna Allah huwa al-aliyyul kabir. And that Allah is the one who is great. Anna Allah huwa al-aliyyul kabir, high and great. Alam tara anna al-fulka tajri fil bahri bi ni'matillah. Don't you see that the boats and ships, they sail in the sea or in the rivers bi ni'matillah, with the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Li yurakum min ayati, so that He shows you some of His signs. Inna fi zalika la ayatin likulli sabbarin shakur. Verily in this are signs for those who are persevering and grateful ones. Wa iza ghashiyahum mawjun kazzulali. But when they are in sea or ocean, and when a wave covers them like clouds, it's a very high wave is coming, just as the clouds, Da'awullah mukhlisina lahuddin. At that time, they call upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, promising Him their total obedience. Mukhlisina lahuddin. We shall obey You, O Allah, and none else. Please deliver us from this affliction which is coming. Falamma najjahum ilal bar. And when Allah delivers them to the land, faminhum muqtasid. There are among them stars somewhere in between. They worship us also and others also. And they take the middle road. وَمَا يَجْهَدُ بِآيَاتِنَا إِلَّا كُلُّ خَطَّارٍ كَفُورٍ. And our ayat are not rejected except from those who are unfaithful and ungrateful. Ya ayyuhan nasu ittaqu rabbakum. O mankind, have fear of Allah, your Lord. Wakhshaw yawman. And keep fearing that day. La yajzi walidun an waladihi. When the father will be of no avail for his son. Wala mawludun huwa jazin an walidihi shay'a. Nor the son would be of any avail to his father. Inna wa'dallahi haqqun. Everyone will have to bear his own burden. Everyone will be accountable in his individual position. Kullahum atihi yawm al-qiyamati farda. We had it in the end of Surah Maryam. Inna wa'dallahi haqqun. This promise of Allah is true. This time is coming. It will come. It is to come. فَلَا تَغُرَّنَّكُمُ الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا. So let not the life of this world deceive you. وَلَا يَغُرَّنَّكُمْ بِاللَّهِ الْغَرُورُ. And let not that biggest deceit, arch deceit, that is Satan, deceive you by pleading Allah is all forgiving. Now this is one of the very big, ways of deceiving of Satan. He says Allah is forgiving. Okay, go on doing what you are doing. You are eating haram, okay, go. Allah is forgiving. He will forgive you. So this forgiveness of Allah is forgiving. But Allah punishes also. He is untiqam also. Although He is ghafoor, but He gives you punishment also. So that is, we have to keep in between. We should keep on hoping for the forgiveness of Allah, but keep on at the same time fearing the chastisement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Bayan-ul-Huda wa raja. We should keep our position in between. The fear, there should remain. But hope that Allah may forgive us. Inna Allaha indahu ilmus sa'ah. Verily, it is only Allah with whom is the knowledge of that hour, when that hour as-sa'a will come. Only He knows. Wa yunazzilul ghais. And it is He who sends down rain. Wa ya'lamu ma fil arham. And knows what is in the wombs of the mothers. Wa ma tadri nafsun madha taksibu ghadan. What that soul is going to earn tomorrow, some good deeds or bad deeds. Wa ma tadri nafsun bi ayyi ardin tamut. And no soul knows in which land it will die. Inna Allaha alimun khabir. Verily, Allah is the all-knowing, all-aware. Now we come to Surah As-Sajda. This surah, having 30 ayat and 3 sections, was very loved by Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So much so that it was his usual practice that on the morning of Friday, in the Fajr prayer, in the first rakat, he nearly always recited this surah. In the second, Surah Al-Dahr. In the first, Surah As-Sajda. And this he did also on the mornings of the Eid's festivals, Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Adha. So this shows he had a special relationship, special love, special affection for this surah. And this surah actually, in its style, is very similar to Surah Yasin, which will be coming inshallah tomorrow. We shall be reading Surah Yasin also. Both these surahs are very close in style. The flow and rhythm is very fast, and it is as if it shakes within me and you something. It has a special effect. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is the last of the 4 surahs which start with Alif Lam Mim here. Surah Al-Ankabut, Surah Al-Rum, Surah Luqman, and now this Surah As-Sajda. Alif Lam Mim. Tanzilul Kitab la rayba fihi min Rabbil Alameen. The sending down of this book, and there is no doubt in it, is from the Lord of the worlds. Now this style. Tanzilul Kitab la rayba fihi min Rabbil Alameen. Am yaqulun iftara? Do they say Muhammad has forged it, composed it himself? Bal huwa al-haqqu min rabbika. Nay, it is the truth from your Lord. Litunzira qawman, so that you warn, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a nation, ma atahum min nazirin min qablika, to whom before you no warner had come, la'allahum yahtadun, so that maybe they take to the right path, they take the guidance. Allahu alladhi khalaqa samawati wal arda wa ma bainahuma fi sittati ayyam. Allah is He who created the heavens and the earth and whatever is between them in 6 days. 6 periods of time, 6 cycles of time, which we can't know up till now. Summa stawa alal arsh. Then He mounted on the throne. There is one concept about Allah, especially among the philosophers and the followers of Aristotle. Allah is the creator. But now, this universe is going on by itself. Allah has to do nothing with it. Just, as a footballer, he kicks the ball. Now ball is moving. He kicked it, okay. But now the ball is moving itself. The player has nothing to do with it. So they have this concept. But Quran says, and says it over and over again, He created, then He mounted the throne. Then He controls it. So Mustawa al-Arsh, مَا لَكُم مِّن دُونِهِ مِن وَلِيٍّ وَلَا شَفِيعٍ فَلَا تَتَذَكَّرُونَ. You have no intercessor and no protector besides him. So you are you not admonished? Yudabbirul amr. He is ordaining the affair of this universe. He is controlling. He is running the universe. Yudabbirul amr. Tadbir. Yudabbirul amra min as-samaa ila al-ard. His commands come from the heavens and they are being executed on the earth. Summa yaruju ilayhi fi yawmin. Then you know the reports of what has happened. They also return to him. And this cycle, fi yawmin kana miqdaruhu al-fasalati mimma ta'udun. It's equal to 1,000 years according to your count. This we have already read in Surah Al-Hajj also. وَإِنَّ يَوْمًا إِنْدَ رَبِّكَ كَأَلْفِ سَنَةٍ مِّمَّا تَعُدُّونَ. One day with your Lord is equal to 1,000 years according to your counting. One day of Allah is equal to 1,000 years of our counting. ذَلِكَ عَالِمُ الْغَيْبِ وَالشَّهَادَةِ. He is the one who knows everything, unseen or seen. Al-Azizur Rahim. And he is all powerful, mighty, and merciful. Alladhi ahsana kulla shay'in khalaqa. Who made extremely beautiful everything which he has created. Look to his creations. Everything is beautiful. Look to these flowers. Look to these plants. Whatever he has created. Ahsana kulla shay'in khalaqa. Each one surpassing each other in beauty, grandeur. Alladhi ahsana kulla shay'in khalaqahu. He made it everything beautiful which he has created. وَبَدَأَ خَلْقَ الْإِنسَانِ مِنْ طِينٍ. And then he started the creation of man from mud. Now this is the beginning of man. As the zoologists also say, biologists, that the beginning of life on this planet was at the shores of the seas, where water was coming up and going back, coming up and going back. This interaction between the clay and water, this produced the organic compounds, chemical compounds. And from the organic chemical compounds, then life, emerged. And water is the source of life. So he commenced the creation of man by mud, from mud. ثُمَّ جَعَلَ نَسْلَهُ مِنْ سُلَالَةٍ مِّن مَّاءٍ مَّهِينٍ. Then he made his progeny, continuity of his race, through the extract of a despised and hate-worthy liquid. The semen, nobody even wants to mention it. But that is the beginning. And that is the continuation of the species. This, this is with which procreation is going on. Summa sawwahu. Then he fashioned him. وَنَفَخَ فِيهِ مِن رُوحِهِ. And now this is the stage. And then he blew and breathed into him from his own spirit. وَجَعَلَ لَكُمُ السَّمْعَ وَالْأَبْصَارَ وَالْأَفْئِدَةَ. And then he made for you the ears to listen, the eyes to see. And afida, I have told you before also, I take it to be the faculty of reasoning here in brain. It's a big computer over here. You are feeding, data is being fed into this computer through eyes, through ears, through touch, through smelling. All these are sense organs. And through these sense organs, this brain is being fed. It that processes all this data and then infers. And this way, the human knowledge, the acquired human knowledge has increased. قَلِيلًا مَا تَشْكُرُونَ. But there is very little that you thank. We have done this much for you. وَقَالُوا إِذَا ظَلَلْنَا فِي الْأَرْضِ أَإِنَّا لَفِي خَلْقٍ جَدِيدٍ. And they say, when we will be lost in the dust, we will die, we will be buried, our body will disintegrate, we will become dust again, and we will be lost in the dust. Are we going to be created again? بَلْ هُمْ بِلِقَاءِ رَبِّهِمْ كَافِرُونَ. Nay. Actually, they are refusing to meet their Lord. They don't say this is impossible. How can anybody say it is impossible? If this universe could be created, Why can't a man be created again? Someone has created this universe. It didn't come, as a bolt from blue. Someone has created. So if he has created this universe, can't he create you again? It's so simple logic. But actually, why do they refuse? They have no face to meet their Lord. They know what they are. They want to escape. This is the escapism. They don't want to meet their face. Everybody knows where he stands. Tell them, O Muhammad, the angel of death who has been given your charge, he will take your souls. Summa ila rabbikum turja'un. And then you will be returned to your Lord. وَلَوْ تَرَى إِذِ الْمُجْرِمُونَ نَاكِسُوا رُؤُوسَهِمْ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ. And only if you, O Prophet ﷺ, could see this scene, when these guilty people, they'll be standing before their Lord on the Day of Judgment, hanging their necks, heads down. Rabbana, and they'll be saying at that time, Rabbana absarna, O our Lord, now we have seen. Wasami'na, and now we have listened. Farji'na, so please send us back to that world from which we have come. Na'amal salihan, we shall do good deeds now. Inna muqinun, we have the belief and faith now. So please give us a chance and return us. Walau shayna la'atayna kulla nafsin huda. Allah would reply, had we so wished, we would have given guidance to each one soul of this universe. If we had to give it by force, we could give it to Abu Jahl, Abu Lahab. Could they resist? No. But actually, walakin haqqal qawlu minni. This thing has come from me. I am testing you, and whosoever deserves to go to paradise, he will go to paradise. And whosoever will deserve to go to hell, well, he has to go to hell. And I had made this decision beforehand that I shall certainly fill hell with the jinns and mankind altogether. The hell has also to be fed. So you are the fodder of this hell. فَذُوقُوا بِمَا نَسِيتُمْ لِقَاءَ يَوْمِكُمْ هَذَا. Now taste this chastisement. Because of that, you just ignored and you just forgot the meeting of this day. Just forgot that you have to come to us. Inna nasinakum. Now today we are ignoring you. Go away. وَذُوقُوا عَذَابَ الْخُلْدِ بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. And now taste the everlasting chastisement for what you used to do. إِنَّمَا يُؤْمِنُ بِآيَاتِنَا الَّذِينَ إِذَا ذُكِّرُوا بِهَا خَرُّوا سُجَّدًا وَسَبَّحُوا بِحَمْدِ رَبِّهِمْ وَهُمْ لَا يَسْتَكْبِرُونَ. Verily only those people really believe in our revelations, who when they are admonished and reminded with our ayat, with our revelations, they fall down on their faces and in prostration, and they glorify their Lord with His praise, and they are not at all arrogant. This is ayah of Sajda, please. Bismillahi awwalahu wa akhirah. Tatajafa junubuhum anil madaji'i. Such of our bondsmen, they keep away from their beds during the night. Yad'una rabbahum, calling upon their Lord, khawfan wa tam'an, with fear as well as hope. That I said you, Bayan-ul-Huda wa raja, always remain in between fear also and hope also. So, yad'una rabbahum khawfan wa tam'an, hoping also and fearing also. Wa mimma razaqnahum yunfiqun, and whatever we had given them, provided them with, from that they spent. فَلَا تَعْلَمُ نَفْسٌ مَا أُخْفِيَ لَهُم مِّن قُرَّةِ أَعْيُنٍ. So nobody knows what has been hidden, مَا أُخْفِيَ لَهُم مِّن قُرَّةِ أَعْيُنٍ, as a recompense for what they used to do. Nobody knows. This ayah is very important. Why? Quran tells such and such blessings will be in Jannah. There will be rivers flowing, even of honey and milk and so on and so forth. There will be wine. but that wine will not have bad effects in it, but it will be there. Sharaban tahura, very pure wine. So all these things. But Allah here says nobody knows what delight of the eyes is kept hidden further. So there are two stages of the reward of Ahlul Jannah. One is nuzul, the other is ziyafa. Nuzul in Arabic means when some guest has arrived. He has alighted down from the car, or formerly from the horse or from the camel. He is called Nazil. He has descended from his savari, his markab, on which he was traveling. And you immediately present something. If it is summer, some cold drink. If it is winter, some hot drink. This is nuzul. But then now he is staying with you. Now you prepare the feast for him. That is the second stage. Now he is zaif. It is called ziyafa. Starting in the beginning, he is nazil, and for him is nuzul. And now when he stays with you, he is zaif, and now you arrange ziyafa for him. Now you have to prepare the feast for him. So these all things which are mentioned in Quran, in Surah Al-Rahman, Surah Al-Waqi'ah, and so forth and so, these are all nuzul. The first blessings of Allah which will be given to these people, to the bondsmen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, are these things. But then when they will dwell in the paradise, then what Allah will give them, nobody knows. And there is a hadith also, مَا لَا عَيْنٌ رَاتْ وَلَا أُذُنٌ سَمِعَتْ وَمَا خَطَرَ عَلَىٰ قَلْبِ بَشَرٍ, which no eye has ever seen, no ear has ever heard of, and there has been no idea of that coming to anybody's heart. Those will be the real blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for his true bondsmen. فَلَا تَعْلَمُ نَفْسٌ مَا أُخْفِيَ لَهُمْ مِنْ قُرَّةِ أَعْيُنٍ جَزَاءً بِمَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. It will be the reward for them. أَفَمَنْ كَانَ مُؤْمِنًا كَمَنْ كَانَ فَاسِقًا. So think yourself, whosoever is a believer, is he like the one who is a transgressor? Are they equal? La yastawun. No, they can't be equal. Amma alladhina amanu wa amilu salihat. As for those who came to believe and they did good deeds, falahum jannatul mawa. For them there will be the gardens of abode. Nuzulam bima kanu ya'malun. Now this word is here, nuzulam. This will be the immediate hospitality which will be presented to them. Wa amma alladhina fasaku. As for those who transgressed, فَمَاوَاهُمُ النَّارِ. Their abode is the fire. كُلَّمَا أَرَادُوا أَن يَخْرُجُوا مِنْهَا. Whenever they will try to come out of the fire due to the grief, أُعِيدُوا فِيهَا, they will be thrown back into it. وَقِيلَ لَهُمْ, and it will be said to them, ذُوقُوا عَذَابَ النَّارِ الَّذِي كُنْتُمْ بِهِ تُكَذِّبُونَ. Now taste the chastisement of the fire which you had been belying. There is not going to be any Jahannam. These are all stories of the ancient. Tilka asatirul awwaleen. There is no reality in these things. Now see, is it real or not? وَلَنُذِيقَنَّهُم مِّنَ الْعَذَابِ الْأَدْنَىٰ دُونَ الْعَذَابِ الْأَكْبَرِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْجِعُونَ. This is very important ayah. Chastisements divided into two categories. Smaller chastisements or the nearer ones, and the final chastisement or the bigger one. Whenever some messenger was sent to some people, smaller chastisements came to the people, so that if they are sleeping, they should wake up. They should think over it, what this messenger is saying, awakening them from their slumber. But then, after the messenger has done his work, and he's conveyed to them fully the message of Allah, and they have finally decided to reject him, then the large and the bigger chastisement of annihilation, and now extermination of the nation, came to them. وَلَنُذِيقَنَّهُم مِّنَ الْعَذَابِ الْأَدْنَىٰ دُونَ الْعَذَابِ الْأَكْبَرِ. And we shall certainly make them taste the nearer or the smaller chastisement before that greater chastisement, that perchance they may return. لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْجِعُونَ. وَمَنْ أَظْلَمُ مِمَّنْ ذُكِّرَ بِآيَاتِ رَبِّهِ. And who is more evildoer than the person who has been admonished by the revelations of his Lord? ثُمَّ أَعْرَضَ عَنْهَا. And even then he turns away. If somebody is calling him on his own, giving his own sermons, okay, it is a different thing. But when someone is being admonished with the revelations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he turns away, it means he is the biggest culprit. وَمَنْ أَظْلَمُ مِمَّنْ ذُكِّرَ بِآيَاتِ رَبِّهِ ثُمَّ أَعْرَضَ عَنْهَا إِنَّا مِنَ الْمُجْرِمِينَ مُنْتَقِمُونَ. From such culprits, we shall definitely take revenge. Now Allah is not only Ghafoor, He is Muntaqim also. He takes revenge also. So both these conditions should remain before us. وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا مُوسَى الْكِتَابَ فَلَا تَكُنْ فِي مِرْيَةٍ مِّن لِقَائِهِ. And we had given before you, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the book, Torah to Moses, Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. فَلَا تَكُنْ فِي مِرْيَةٍ مِّن لِقَائِهِ. So you should have no doubt whatsoever about receiving this book from Allah, because before you, Torah was given to Musa. وَجَعَلْنَاهُ هُدًى لِبَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ. And we had made it, declared that Torah to be the guidance for the children of Israel. As we have declared this book, Quran, to be the guidance for the whole of mankind. But for Torah, وَجَعَلْنَاهُ هُدًى لِبَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ وَجَعَلْنَا مِنْهُمْ أَئِمَّةً يَهْدُونَ بِأَمْرِنَا. And then we appointed from among them leaders who used to guide the mankind with our command. Now from the Ummah also, all the ulama, all the pious people, all the saints, Muslims, they have been calling towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the same way, in Bani Israel also, there were good people also. As a whole, we know that, evil dominated in them. But it doesn't mean that they didn't have any good person among them. There were good persons also. They had good days also. A number of prophets had been coming to them. جَعَلْنَا مِنْهُمْ أَئِمَّةً يَهْدُونَ بِأَمْرِنَا لَمَّا صَبَرُوا. But those people who could lead their people to the right path, they must fulfill two conditions. لَمَّا صَبَرُوا, number one, they should be patient. They should not be ambitious in this world. If they are ambitious in this world, then how can they have time to call people towards something good, to teach them something good? They have to cut down their own aspirations of this world. وَكَانُوا بِآيَاتِنَا يُوقِنُونَ. And they should have full conviction in our ayat. They must themselves be fully convinced of the book and the revelations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then they will be able to call people and guide them to the right path. إِنَّ رَبَّكَ هُوَ يَفْصِلُ بَيْنَهُمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ فِي مَا كَانُوا فِيهِ يَخْتَلِفُونَ. Verily your Lord will decide between them regarding all those things, on the day of judgment, regarding all those things in which they had been differing. أَوَلَمْ يَهْدِ لَهُمْ. Is it not sufficient for them as guidance? كَمْ أَهْلَكْنَا مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ مِنَ الْقُرُونِ. How many a generation we destroyed before them? يَمْشُونَ فِي مَسَاكِنِهِمْ. They also used to walk in their dwellings, in their cities, in their townships. إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ فَلَا يَسْمَعُونَ. And in this are the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So are they not listening? They are not paying any heed to it. أَوَلَمْ يَرَوْا أَنَّا نَسُوقُ الْمَاءَ إِلَى الْأَرْضِ الْجُرُزِ. Secondly, don't they see that we drive water to the barren land? فَنُخْرِجُ بِهِ زَرْعًا تَأْكُلُ مِنْهُ أَنْعَامُهُمْ وَأَنْفُسُهُمْ. And then we bring forth from that barren land crops, out of which their cattle and their themselves eat. This is again a sign. Will they not then see all these signs of our authority, of our power, our creative potential? Everything is before them, their eyes. And they should keep their eyes and ears open, that they will find everything testifying to the existence and the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَيَقُولُونَ مَتَى هَذَا الْفَتْحُ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. Now when they had nothing more to say, the mushrikeen and the kuffar, the final, the question that they used to put was, when will be this decision? If you are correct, if you are truthful, tell us. When this chastisement would come? When this decision will be between you and us from your Lord? قُلْ يَوْمَ الْفَتْحِ لَا يَنْفَعُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا إِيمَانُهُم. Tell them, on the day of that decision, if people now at that time say we come to believe, it will not be beneficial for them. We have already read it. Even Fir'aun of the time of Musa alayhi salatu wassalam, when he was drowning, he said, Amantu, I believe in Allah, the Lord of Musa and Harun. I believe in the same God in which Bani Israel believe. But now this is rejected. When you see the signs or the actual chastisement coming, now it's no use accepting. No use saying you believe. The time is gone. قُلْ يَوْمَ الْفَتْحِ لَا يَنْفَعُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا إِيمَانُهُمْ وَلَا هُمْ يُنْظَرُونَ. And they will not be given any respite, no time. At that time, it will be said, now the time is over. Just in the examination, when it is declared, time is over, stop writing. Finished. Whatever you have written, you have written. Now wait for the result. فَأَعْرِضْ عَنْهُمْ. So, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, turn away from them. Don't pay any heed to what they are saying. Don't be grieved on what they are plotting, what intrigues they are doing. وَانْتَظِرْ, and wait for the final judgment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إِنَّهُمْ مَنْتَظِرُونَ. Verily they are also waiting for the final decision of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. بارك الله لي ولكم في القرآن العظيم ونفعني وإياكم بالآيات والذكر الحكيم.